Okay, band people, we are learning how to use library databases for our research for the National History Day project. So Mrs. Farley is getting ready to explain to us how to use these resources that are on the library homepage located on our East Middle School homepage.
Very clear to understand. What does the word data mean? Information, exactly. And what do you think of when you hear the word base? A station, that's a really good word. I hadn't heard that one before. So a station or a place, so it's just a place where information is kept. That's what database means. So when you get up to the high school next year and Mrs. Wupter says, well, what databases are you using? You're going to know what a database is. You're going to go to the library page and look under those full text resources and you'll find some databases. Because it is researched information written by experts. Means you're going to find full articles or full addresses of your topic.
So this is where Mrs. Farley cut out, probably because I put my finger over the microphone. You are to choose the General Reference Center Gold or the U.S. History Collection.
Now, when it pops up, you have some choices here. You can go to this advanced, and I'm going to point you with the arrow right here. You can click on advanced search, which I often recommend. And if you have a number of keywords that you want to use, I would click on advanced search. If you don't, you might just want to use this, this search box. And I'm going to just type in Stamp Act. Now, you can see I'm putting quotation marks around it. The reason I'm doing that, and this is true for any internet search, the reason I'm doing that is I'm telling the search engine that I want those two words kept together. Otherwise, and I tested it to make sure, otherwise it'll look for every place it can find the word stamp, and then it'll look for every place it can find the word act. And that will bring up irrelevant sources. So when you have a topic that has two words in it, I would definitely go ahead and put parentheses or put quotation marks around it. But you can see where General Reference Center Gold is already making some assumptions for me. I could actually click on any one of those if I wanted to, or even the repeal of the Stamp Act, if that's exactly what I was looking for. This is the return screen. Now, it tells me right here that it found 72 magazine articles, and that's what it's looking at first. But if I look over here on the right, on the left-hand, let's see, that's the left-hand side, 72 magazines, 35 academic journals. Now, those are magazines, but when it says academic journal, we know we're looking at professional magazines written to, probably a college level and above. But you might want to look at those. So you've got some academic journals. We've got some books where it will have excerpts, and then also newspapers. It made the assumption that you wanted to look at magazine articles, so it brought these up first. Okay, there's the title, the date. Okay, here's the whole article. And then what you'll see is whatever you typed in as your search terms, they show up in red. And that's their way of telling you why they think this article is relevant and how they think it might be helpful to you. Then, if you get all the way down to the bottom of the article, you're going to find source citation. This will save you a lot of time because writing citations for magazine articles is really time consuming. Into your works cited page, drop your works cited page back down to the bottom, minimize it, and continue to take notes out of the article. That way it's all done for you. If you have to come back to it, you have the information, and you didn't have to write it out. Type your topic in, and if I did Stamp Act again, it would act very much like, well, you know what, I'm going to show you the advanced search page. Let's go to the advanced search page. Here is where you can put in, say you wanted the Boston Tea Party. Let's not get into that. Okay, so I type in all three of my words, but you might have different ones. This is just an example. You can then get pretty specific if you want to. I would make sure you keep the little check box for 2 documents with full text because you want full articles. 3 magazines. articles. And it also brought back 8 articles from journals. All right, let's see what one looks like here. All right, I'm going to click on number 3. And you can see it looks a lot like, it just looks a lot like the other info track. You can see where our search terms are written in red, so they tell us why it's relevant. And down at the bottom, here is our source citation for us. So it looks a lot like this, and it's right down here under MEL, Michigan Electronic Library, that I'm pointing to. So if we click on that one, it opens up. Now, it says, what is MEL? Michigan Electronic Library. That's what it is. This is funded by Michigan State, by our state of Michigan. It's a free service to all citizens and schools. It's a pretty expensive undertaking. They staff people to do this research and keep it up to date. If you want to use it at school, it's free. You do not need a username and password. You can just come to our library page. If you want to use it at home, it will ask you to create a username. Now, for adults, it's your driver's license number, but for you, you can create another number at home. So if you're going to use it at home, you will have to create a username and password. But at school, you just click on it and it opens up. All right, what I want to look at under Michigan Electronic Library would be, first of all, these databases. So that's where we want to go, MEL databases. So click on that. And just like the one we looked at for InfoTrack, this one is huge. And in fact, InfoTrack is one of them that they cite as well. So MEL is really, really big. And as you look through this, you're going to see there are a lot of choices. Culturegrams is in there. Okay, and there are 2 I want to look at. I want to look at this Gale Virtual Reference Library. That's the first one I've listed on your sheet, too. This is huge, and you will use this a lot in high school. Okay, I type in Stamp Act, click on the little magnifying glass for searching. All right, this is what comes 1 through 953. So you know you're looking at a big volume, but they're going to narrow it right down to the 2 pages that are going to be useful to you. So you can view text if you want to. It says it right underneath. Okay, so it tells us over on the right-hand side that it found 11 articles, 7 topic overviews, 4 biographies that are somehow related, and they gave us some other information according to what it found. So let's view the text. We click on View Text of this article. And when it comes up, you can read the whole article. And down at the bottom, you will find, let's see, where is it? It's not quite all the way at the bottom. Right here is your source citation that you could copy and paste onto your citation page. It's going to look a lot like our last one. So I'm going to type in Stamp Act again just for comparison. Tell it to search. Now you see underneath, you could get very specific. So maybe I don't want to look at transcripts. I can click that off. Maybe I don't want to, I don't know, I think I want all those others. So I'm going to leave those on and I'm going to click search. Okay, this is what comes up. Now this is interesting. Because this is written for junior high and high school people, I think it's a little more user-friendly because look what it says right here. Why don't you try, and it gives you several other ways of looking at your topic. I think that can be really helpful. This info, please. You know, if you're kind of struggling with your topic and it isn't making sense to you, info, please might be a place that would just give you some ideas at a pretty understandable level. So that's more of a beginning research, I think, as compared to the things I just showed you. The other one I'll mention is down here, further down the page, where it says check an encyclopedia. And that's Grolier Encyclopedia. Now, Grolier Encyclopedia is really 3 encyclopedias in one. Hopefully it'll come up in a second. We pay for this online encyclopedia. It's like the World Book. We've got 26 volumes, huge encyclopedia. I can, of course, buy it in print for the show, but we buy it online. And the advantage of an online encyclopedia is that as things are updated every day, they're added to the online program. Now, not every article is updated every day or even every year, but as those updates are made, they're added to Grow Your Encyclopedia. Now, Grow Your Encyclopedia, I said, is 3 encyclopedias. It's the Multimedia Encyclopedia, which will include more visuals and maybe audio. The Encyclopedia Americana is written at about the 8th grade, 7th to 8th grade reading level. And Lands and People, I really got that for the 7th grade for their geography projects. I think that's clearly a middle school product. So filter out some things just like that. So when we click on them, the article comes up, and it does things exactly like InfoTrack did, in that your search terms are in red. The other thing it's going to do is, let's see if we see, okay, if you see anything in blue, I don't see anything in blue in this article. But if you see something in blue, anytime on the internet you see something in blue underlined that's a hyperlink, if you click on it, it takes you out of the place where you are and links you someplace else. And that's why it's called hyperlink. Okay, I'm going to go down to the bottom of the article, and you will see right here how to cite this, and right here